Well, nothing's changed. Nothing has changed currently. If anything, because of the acquisition of power tools and getting more stuff, it's gotten slightly worse. Yes, there is a couple of pieces missing from over there because, well, I'll go into the tail of the motorcycle now. The workshop have had it now for about, I want to say a week and a half. And they fixed it. But unfortunately, the replacement cylinder head I got was no good. It came off a slightly older model, which means that the internal parts wouldn't work. The outside and the layout and how it bolted down, it was all the same. But the actual parts wouldn't work. And also, the one cylinder was actually knackered. The one set of valves, so it was losing compression. It was no good. So what the company that have got it have done, they've cleaned up where I made my mistake and retapped it. And to be fair, I should have found somebody to do that in the first place because it would have saved me nearly 300 quid, but there we are. So that's the tail of the bike. The car, that has had to have nearly 500 quid's worth of shocks and springs. So this has been a very expensive week as well. And nothing has changed inside. Now, September's a bit of a weird month for me now anyway, because a couple of days' time it'll be the year anniversary of my father passing. The day after that is the anniversary of me giving up drinking. And then a couple of days ago, yesterday even, I think, was my brother's wedding anniversary. And then in a week's time, I've got a wedding to go to for one of my sister-in-law's family. So, yes, September's a very weird week. But I have had to acquire power tools to assist in my endeavours outside. And in terms of the endeavours outside, well, there we go. The wall is built. It is a bit of a mess at the moment. It needs a pressure wash. The roots are out, and that's what I needed the chainsaw for, was to help me get those down. And I've started doing some edging there, because from the end of that down to there is where I need a ramp, because where the pile of blocks is where I would like to park the motorbike once it's running. I've also done a lot of the slab work out the front here. Still need to add some down this bottom edge, but at the moment I don't have the slabs, and then I need to start outlining where the shed is going, probably in some more of those edging slabs. Then I've got to put a sand base down, then I've got to put the slabs on. Then I've still got to get permission to put the shed there anyway. So if I can't put the shed there, then I'm just going to have a very, very small patio. So, yeah. So as I say, outside progress is being made because I need to get the shed up. My priority at the moment, I've got to be fair, is get the shed up and get the motorbike fixed. Because if I get the shed up, it takes pretty much everything out of here. And if I get the motorbike fixed, back through to this room, it takes pretty much most of this from like there across. It takes that out of the equation. I've just got some extra boxes so I can start sorting stuff. But a lot of that stuff on there and down there and here all go back on the motorbike. And then I can get all of the power tools out of the conservatory. I can get all of the hand tools out of the dining room. And I can get all of the bits of bike. So that's the two priorities at the moment. But unfortunately today, rain has stopped me from working outside. So, yeah, I've got to find something to do today. And I'm umming and ahhing whether I want to get rid of all the cardboard or if I actually want to start sorting some stuff out in here, because, well, you can't really see when I'm just poking in the door. All of this is pretty much going. And there's a lot of bits of cardboard that I need to sort out as well. So, unfortunately, I've got a bit of a lisp on the go because I bit my tongue. So that's always fun. But yeah, so it doesn't look like anything's different in here. But outside, it's a big difference because I've not got bricks everywhere. And I'm actually making progress, good progress as well. So I've got a level base. I can put the bins down. And even the bins, because I might have only gained like 6 to 8 inches building this wall because the garden came out so far with like a rockery and stuff. But it means now that the bins are flush. They're not sticking out. I mean, they were like that far away from the door at one point, and now there's a good slab or so between the front door and where the bins lie. Also, where the brickwork is, the blocks there, there's a very pale patch of grass just there. That's where the shed used to be. Once I took it down, I stacked it all there. That has now gone to the tip. And my pile of hedge has decreased drastically. We only get a green bin pickup every 2 weeks, so slowly been chugging through that, and now I'm down to literally that would be one bin load and we're done, but currently the bin is full because that was there. So yeah, we're making progress. We've got to wait for the weather to clear up before I go out there and start marking stuff out and digging stuff around, and because I don't want the problem with the soil that I have here is it's very thick and clayey, so it sticks to your shoes. And then you get like that much on your shoes and you can barely walk, and then you try to come in to get a glass of water and you drag crap all through the house. So I've got to wait for it to dry out a little bit, and it makes it easier to mulch up as well. So yeah, as I say, it doesn't look any different in here. If anything, because of the acquisition of tools, it looks slightly worse. But progress is being made elsewhere in order to free up this stuff. As I say, the priority is the shed and the motorbike. Shed gets a lot of the tools out of the way. Motorbike gets a lot of the rest of the stuff out of the way. And then we can worry about actually sorting through everything, getting stuff taken care of. I mean, if I can empty the conservatory, then all of the bikes and trikes will go out there. If I can get rid of all this cardboard, I can get rid of the sofa. That frees up that bit. The sofa is one of those, because that was my dad's spot, but at the same time, it's a really, really bad sofa. And I can't give it away because it hasn't got a flame-resistant thing on it, and I can't sell it because it hasn't got a flame-resistant thing on it. So the only option is to destroy it, which is going to be fun. We did one before. But yeah, it's like that's his spot. So I might not do that for a couple of days just because of, well, with it being the anniversary of his death coming up. Yeah, it's one of those odd ones. But, you know, we've got well, not only have I got this to do, we've also been given the okay to clear my mum's place. So at some point, because my brother's currently on his anniversary holiday, whatever it might be, we've got to go over there at some point and start clearing that as well. Thankfully, that's where those extra tools came from, where's my mum's. Thankfully, I don't think there's anything else that I want from there, because I just don't have the room. So, yeah, it's fun. But we're getting there. We now, again, with the shelving, I've got places to put stuff as and when I find it. You know, the important things, you know, like old photos and, well, toy cars. These are cars that I would very much like to own, but are rarer than the proverbial. And then, yeah, just stuff going in places. At the moment, I've got a lot of bits of paint knocking around the place because I've been working on something privately that isn't related to any of this. I just needed to take my mind off it for a bit, so I did. Ironically, I did a Nerf mod, which is something I haven't done for a while, but it's not for me, it's for another purpose, and I'll show you eventually, but yeah, I've got to keep that kind of quiet for a little while. And then it's a case of, as I say, I got to finish up out there. The main priority at the moment is getting that top bit done, because I need an outline like that. Got to level it because I don't want it poking too far above the water, because I've got 2-inch slabs to go on top there. Might seem overkill, 2-inch for a shed, but it was the only slab that I could find where they also did a 300mm wide slab as well, all in 2-inch, because I only need to go 5 foot that way, which is, if they're 2-foot slabs, 1, 2.5, 5 slabs. But then I'm going to come 4 slabs this way. So yeah, I don't want to be cutting like half a dozen slabs just to make them fit. So I wanted to make it as easy as I could for me. Yes, they're slightly heavier, they're slightly thicker, but on the plus side, it ain't going to move. Because they're that much thicker and they're going to be butted almost up against the wall. The ball's not very straight, so I'm going to try and butt the slabs up against the wall. It ain't going to move anywhere. But at the same time, I need like a little edge up there to stop the sand from slipping out. I was going to border all the way around, but then I realised that that basically hill, the bank, will hold that lot in place. And then this side, I haven't really cut it out that much, so I just need a section down there to hold everything in place to lay the slabs onto. But that's going to be a lot of work, levelling and putting sand on and stuff like that. So we'll get there. We will get there. But yeah, progress is being made. I'm not sitting idle. That was my one concern when I quit my job. My one concern was that I was just going to sit on my hands. That was the other reason. The company that I worked for, worked for, I should say. They do offer a lifestyle break. And I was of the opinion that if I took one of those, I would just sit on my hands, and then after a month or so, I'd be like, well, I'll just go back there. And I didn't want that. I didn't want to be sitting idle. I've got work to be done, and I couldn't do it while I was working, and I didn't want the safety net, as it were. So, yeah, this is going to be a weird week for me, but we're not making it doesn't look like we're making a lot of progress until you look outside. So, yeah, wow, how is this 11 minutes? Anyway, I'm going to leave you there. Speak soon. Yeah.